The slow-moving storm swept over the Bahamas after leaving a trail of destruction across the northern Caribbean. Cuban authorities reported several killed on the island, with the city of Santiago suffering serious damage. People in Haiti and the Dominican Republic were battling the threat of rivers swollen by heavy rain. This bridge linking the two countries was washed away.
This is not a normal situation. There is almost nobody left in the area. Every home is flooded with water and people had to take to higher ground for safety. We've been working hard to save lives, but we found one dead body in the water.
Thousands of Haitians still living in tents since the 2010 earthquake are particularly vulnerable. Forecasters still don't know where on the U.S. mainland Sandy will hit, but some beaches in Florida are already feeling the early edges of the strong weather.
It's beautiful, absolutely devastating beautiful.
Emergency preparations are underway as far north as Massachusetts.
We've opened the Office of Emergency Management Situation Room already, and the NYC Coastal Storm Plan was activated early this morning.
Residents of the Northeast have been flocking to stores for essential supplies. The storm could be the most intense to hit the Northeast in a century. That's because it may join a second storm originating from the Midwest. The analysis of one research firm predicts over $5 billion in damages if the current storm forecast proves accurate. Tom Ackerman, Al Jazeera.
Justin Povick is a meteorologist at Accuweather. He joins me now live from State College, Pennsylvania. Justin, good to talk to you. You know, I've got a good friend who I worked with for a number of years there in Atlanta, who I know you know well, who is one of the best in your business, who says Sandy may pose the greatest risk to human life he has ever seen. Do you share that view of this storm?
Well, I'll tell you one thing is for sure. This is shaping up to be quite the monster as we go through time. Right now, just in its initial stages, and in fact, if you look at the satellite, it looks a little disorganized. Center of the storm, Sandy, still a hurricane, sitting roughly 125 miles offshore the Florida coastline, but it's down the line. Cold front moving into the Ohio Valley combines forces, cold air, warm air, lots of moisture, and I think this will do quite a bit of destruction, not only across the Northeast, but into the Middle Atlantic and even throughout the coastal Carolinas as we move into this upcoming weekend.
Okay, so Justin, you mentioned the cold front, also known as a nor'easter. Am I correct in that? And can you explain that particular weather phenomenon and what this collision of storms, if it comes to pass, could cause?
Well, exactly. Right now we are looking at simply a tropical system. Normally these produce winds, very strong winds over a smaller area. As we go into Saturday, as we go into Sunday, especially Monday, we will see this system grow in size. Now, in the meantime, we do think that this will produce winds 40, 50 miles per hour at the Carolina coastline, along with some coastal flooding. But the big-time impacts really come into play down the line Monday morning, Monday evening, Monday night into Tuesday morning as the system transitions from more of a tropical system to what we call more of an extratropical system. It loses its tropical characteristics. It has cooler air absorbed into it. And again, that cold front will also push some energy into the storm system. So it's combining forces from its north and its west, and this will grow in size. So the impacts will be felt over a very large area, hundreds and hundreds of miles, or we could see winds topping 70, even 80 miles per hour.
Whoa.
The other big concern is the onslaught of water coming into the coastline across the Northeast.
So, Justin, if you live in Maryland, if you live in Washington, D.C., and then farther up the coast, they were talking about Delaware into Pennsylvania, New York, how do you start preparing for this storm? What do you do?
Well, I mean, definitely you want to stay tuned to your local forecast.
Good advice,
but right
good advice,
now,
yeah.
Looks like definitely take precautions in terms of boarding up, having a plan of action, of course, in place heading into early next week. Conditions will go downhill very quickly, even as the storm is still hundreds of miles offshore. The wind field will be so large that we'll start seeing damaging winds 40, 50, 60 miles per hour 12 hours before the center moves on shore. So just preparing, have a plan, of course, in action right now, because by the time we get into Sunday night and Monday morning, conditions will go downhill in a hurry.
Boy. All right, Justin, appreciate it. Justin Povick is a meteorologist at Accuweather, joining us from State College in Pennsylvania. Justin, thanks for your time.